Hello. Will soon be with you. Start. Thank you. Nifen, please keep your music going. We still have like 5 minutes. Let's give 5 minutes. Thank you. All right. You joined from good morning. Peradventure, you're joining from somewhere around North America, Canada. It will be your morning. Would you please confirm that you can hear me? I'm audible sufficiently. Would you please come in the room? Come on. Good day, everyone. Come and say, yes, you can hear me. Thank you, Ikimi, for that thumbs up to say, yes, I can hear you. Yes, thank you for that confirmation. Peradventure, you're also in the room. You haven't introduced yourself. Would you be kind to introduce yourself? Very important. Honestly, it's so. Let's know you were here. Let's know you came. Let's know you came. Come on, introduce yourself. Thank you, Barrister. Oh, Mrs. Olaide, that's Mrs. Not Barrister. Yes, all right. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Yes, yes, yes. While we keep the introduction coming in, yes. You can hear clear. Thank you, John Otokine. Thank you, everyone. We know it's your work time. It's supposed to be a lunch time meeting, so we aren't going to take too much of your time at all. And my name is Hannah Oyebanjo. If you never met me, it's a pleasure meeting you. And I'm hoping we're going to meet again. Hi, that's Rui. Hi, good to have you here from Abuja. Oh, some of our industry friends are in the room. Very nice. Very good to see you all here. Thank you so much. So go there and thank you for joining us. This is Winning the Channel series. And we're really glad to have returned this. Yes, right. Yes. It's an initiative we started a couple of years ago, and it used to be physical meeting. Yeah, until we migrated online to make it virtual. And it's powered by Redwood Consulting. Yes. And I'm glad to be your host. I always love to be host. I don't know why, but I think I enjoy it. That's fine. Thank you. So today we really have to unpack a very interesting topic, next generation commerce, data, technology, and shaping the future of trade. Whether you're a career person in the room or a business person as an SME, you know trade is important. Trade is access. Trade is business. You lose in trade, you lose business, you just lose all. So it's really very important to, dissect and dimension this very important topic, today. The webinar brings together business leaders, which is why I ask you to introduce yourself, because sometimes you find business people looking for business people, right? And they just remember, oh, I was in the same webinar ready to put together with that name, who said, he or she said, he or she does this or that. I may reach out to him or her. So every opportunity to meet with another person is a networking opportunity. And I don't toy with it. That's why if you are in business, especially if you're an SME, you run an organization and you are proud to speak to it, come in the chat room and say what you do. Very important, okay? Right, so we're going to discuss so of course we have in the room, like I said, business leaders, we have marketing innovators in the room, we have channel experts, we have SMEs, business owners, we have a lot of people in the room, and we're going to unpack one question today. How do we all stay competitive when the rules of trade keep changing? Right, trade is made up of people that combat and that do business or that transact in there. Who are they? How do they do what they do? What's changing with them and with the systems? How do you win Yes. So the discussion is going to cut across real-world experiences from retail digitalization and data-driven distribution to how brands are now building future-proof channels that respond to shifting shopper behavior. In our days, if you know me, you know my story, my history. 20-something years ago, 30-something years ago, I was a brand manager. I was managing brand. It was all physical, and we ran physical, pan-Nigeria, pan-Africa, pan-world. It's changed today. So the speakers we have in the room today are seasoned commercial and marketing leaders. Yes, Olayinka Ijabi, acting group head marketing and corporate comms at First Bank Nigeria Limited. And you know First Bank PLC. And you know First Bank as a leading financial institution with over a century of experience driving financial inclusion and innovation in customer engagement. First Bank is kept itself, despite being over, you know how old that enterprise or that conglomerate, that huge business is. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Yinka. We're grateful to have you. We also have Adebola Arotiowa, Chief Commercial Officer at Chivita, Hollandia. That's also one of Nigeria's largest FMCG producers and market leaders in juice and dairy beverages with over 4 decades of excellence and wide distribution network across West Africa. The company continues to drive innovation and quality in the beverage industry. We are glad to have you. Thank you, Adebola, for joining us. We're really delighted. And last but not the least, we have Joseph Umanakwe, head of, I've just pronounced that like I was an American, as a Nigerian, Umunakwe, or something like that. If you're from that side, you get it right. All right. If you know it, you know it. We'll have fun. We'll also learn, all right? So please permit me the space to express, like I said, is head of telecom and IT Insight, WAZI. WAZI is a market intelligence platform that delivers right-time consumer insights across many emerging markets. They help brands to understand what people are buying, where, when, why. They enable you to, quickly drive your decision fast and very quickly. So I'm really excited that we have Joseph with us. Incidentally, Joseph, I'll reveal that you are not even seated here in Nigeria. It shows what technology is doing. And I'm excited. You have to stay to the end and listen to Joseph and see how you can stay in your room and in your offices and you punch and you ask questions, and in a few hours you get results that will help you take even other decisions. How to actually optimize what AI can give to you. I don't know I've not read his presentation, so I'm not going to speak for him. Please stay, because your next billion naira or thousands of dollars might just be coming from the insights Joe is going to share today. So across each session, experts will share practical case studies, as the case may be, and forward-looking conversation on what takes into this very exciting moment and good conversation we're going to have. Remember, ground rules that we muted you so that we can have some kind of quiet in the room. Should you have any questions, you can please use, you already started using the buttons, the emojis, thank you. Use that to ask questions. The chat room is actually absolutely open, so you can ask all the questions to the speakers, and then certainly if I can get the first speaker on, that'll be good. Let me get his slide so I can begin to speak to who he is. We're not going to take your time at all. Everything we're going to conclude, we will conclude fast and sharp. Trust me, trust me, trust me. No. Yes. Can I feel somebody? I hope, are you having lunch? Isn't that you can't talk? I know you can't talk. Hey, all right. So Olayinka Ijabi is going to kick us off almost about now. And Olayinka Ijabi is Group Head Marketing and Corporate Comms, First Bank Nigeria. Like I said, he's coming with over 25 years of experience spanning media, telecoms, and financial services. I've known this man for some time now, and he's an erudite scholar, a proper person, a knowledgeable marketing and sales commercial leader. He leads First Bank's marketing and corporate communications across 7 markets, not only Nigeria. So this is an international speaker we actually have with us today. He's known for strategic creativity and data-driven approach. And like I said, I've known him across enterprises. And he's doing a lot with First Bank, building iconic brands and rebranding and helping that brand to stay focused and to continue to win in the marketplace. So let's make welcome, please. Now you got to make welcome Mr. Olayinka Ijabi. Thank you, Yinka, for coming. Would you please come in the room and show love? Come on. Thank you. Orelua, thank you for showing love. At least one person is streaming. Oh, Achiu, yes, I didn't get that fully. Thank you. Nkechi, so you are now showing love to Ijabi. You didn't show love to me, all of you. Okay,
I did from the very beginning. You did.
I didn't see it. Oh, you did. I was wondering if I was alone. If I'm jealous of Yinka. All right, thank you very much. So I'll be quiet and we have Yinka. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. It's good to be here. Good to be a part of this session here today. Good to be in the midst of marketing communications professionals. It's a very interesting industry, one that we've had the opportunity of dedicating most of our working lives to, and it's great to see how things have moved and evolved over time, as H.O. was saying earlier, look, this is a journey that it's been an interesting journey, for us to be here and to see how the evolution has taken place and to see where we are now and to, to even be able to see as we ourselves have not only evolved, have stayed relevant, along that journey. It's powerful and it's an opportunity to be able to speak to an aspect of that journey, today. When you look at marketing today and look at businesses and what they do with their marketing, it is no longer traditional. Your customers are no longer people that you're looking at, and physically and, drumming and looking for ways of reaching. They are all online. The customer of today does not have the patience or the wherewithal or the time, to listen to you physically or to be engaged by you directly. Direct marketing still works, but there are plenty of ways of reaching them, directly. But because they are so digital, they want everything online. They want everything online real time. They want everything virtually. They don't really need to see you. They just want something done. They get whatever it is they want done anyway, without you. So why would you not be in the room when they are taking or when they're about to make decisions or when they want things done? And that's where most organizations are not yet getting it right. Churn is a very problematic area for most businesses. Your customers, you've spent a lot of money acquiring customers. What then do you do with them? How do you keep them? How do you ensure that you don't get a customer to come on board, maybe transact with you or do 1 or 2 things with you and then silently leave you because he or she doesn't feel engaged. They don't think that they are going to get or they are getting what they need from you. They're not getting the right value from you. And they will, most times, a lot of them might go on social media, which is an ever-present space for conversations. Might go on there and say something or the other, but by and large, they will leave without necessarily saying anything. Most of them will come in, take a look at you. Okay, how is this? Yes, this is what brought me in here. But what will keep me here isn't going to be the same thing that brought me here. And so if you are not giving them more, they are going to leave you. And that's what we're going to be speaking to this afternoon. I'll be speaking on the topic silent churn and data blind spot. Why Nigerian businesses lose customers without noticing. Churn, like I just explained, is still a huge problem. When I part of my career journey, had been at MTN and then at Etisalat. Those telco companies back then were very conscious of the need to retain customers and to therefore minimize churn by any and every means possible. They had departments dedicated to that. They had people who headed teams that were focused on ensuring that you don't lose the customers that you have. As soon as activity drops from a customer, there's an email you're getting, there are things you are getting. I'm not there, I'm not those companies anymore, but I'm going to just have to assume that they still take churn very seriously. So if you are a business and you do not understand the need to engage with the data and see where your customers are, what they are doing with you or what they are not doing with you, you are going to start losing them very quickly and very fast. And before you know it, you'll find that, especially if you're a big corporation or a big organization, you might find yourself lost in the labyrinth of the various departments and the various things that you have put in place to make work for your business. Your business needs to work. It needs a lot of apps. It needs a lot of things, but in that midst, there's a lot of churn that is happening without you necessarily realizing. By the time you wake up, it's almost like gone. So you lose customers mostly in silence. Some customers will leave you with a very loud bang. Go and check social media and see how many times one content creator or the other, or just one unhappy customer or the other goes there and shouts, I'm not satisfied with this service. I'm leaving this customer. I'm going to do this. And then they leave with a bang. But out of the thousands or millions of others who leave without any noise, without a whimper, they just, this is not working for me, and then move their business to someone else, because there's always going to be someone else ready to take their business. There's no business as unique that you cannot move your business from them to somebody else. And it's very crowded. From banking us to junior cars, plenty of those are happening every single day. Just stop doing any business with you. You won't know why if you are not checking the data. So at the heart of this conversation this afternoon is the power of data, ultimately, because what you don't want is to not have data, but to even have data and not understand the data that you have. That is a problem. That is part of the problem. Your business would leak. And it's the one that they say, little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Same way, little leaks make a big dent in your revenue at the end of the day. So, next slide, please. So what is silent churn? Someone just stops using your service after months of some poor experience, either in your app or in any of the ways that they interact with you, and no one follows up. Nobody even notices on time. You must be an active customer. They just one day stop, and then you're wondering, okay, we don't even know, I'm well enough to engage them. And whether your business is big or small, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. As long as you've got data, you should be able to track and find out what the issue is and deal with it immediately. And because when you have one customer who has an issue with something, I promise you, they're like another 10. If you're a small business, 1,000. If you're a bigger business who have the same problem, but who have not yet taken the same action, but they will if you're not careful. A consumer stops using your logistics app. A B2B client reduces their orders 20% month on month, and the sales team may not notice. Just be, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of things, and sometimes we on the business side, sometimes we tend to make excuses for people. Maybe it's because your service is not delivering what they want. Maybe they are not getting what they want from you, but how are you engaging, to ensure that, that they are not on the verge of leaving? If somebody begins to reduce the volume of trade or the volume of business they do with you, then you must sit up and take notice. Next slide, please. And what's the hidden cost of data blind spots? Millions yearly, millions. Not from theft, but from undetected churn. Just because you don't know, just because you are not keeping yourself awake enough to be aware of what's going on in your business. Global research shows a 5% increase in retention can raise profits by 25 to 95%. I mean, that's mind-boggling. To be able to raise your profits by 25%, between 25 and 95, that's a wide margin, just because of a 5% increase in retention. Now, I mean, that says something. It means that the kind of profit that you make now can double if you put just that attention on 5% of the customers that you're losing. If you just ensure that, if there's anybody that, you are keeping your customers back, some of the people that do business with you are keeping them back, 5% of them, guess what? You have the tendency to increase your profit extraordinarily, between 25 to 95%. That's what Social Plus tells us. In Nigeria, only 37% of companies have an integrated customer database. I mean, how many companies? And when you do have the integrated customer database, how are you ensuring lost? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
all right. Thank you. Sorry, please go back one slide. So if you do have an integrated customer database, how are you ensuring that, guess what? That integration is really integrated and is not silo integrated, because there's silo integration and there's complete and full integration. Silo integration is when the business believes that, oh, okay, we've put all the processes in place and all of that. But indeed, in actualization, what you tend to find is that things happen still in silos. Departments are not speaking to each other. Front-facing people are not speaking to each other. The people who are engaging with the business are not speaking to the people who are in the pipeline, who are managing the massaging the pipeline and trying to get. There's just nothing happening. You'll be surprised at how many times people work in silos in organizations. Strategies are developed in silos to essentially deal with problems, that if they had been working together, would not even have arisen in the first instance. And what you don't measure, you can't protect. Next slide, please. And why do businesses miss signal? I think I've mentioned some of this. Weak CRM adoption. Most times, yes, you have data, but where is it? Where is that data? It lives on Excel. So somebody has it somewhere on one system. It's not integrated into your entire structure. You may have the data, you may be looking at it, you may wake up every morning and look at the data, but how is it integrated? And how are you ensuring that that Excel is available to everybody? That data is available to everybody that needs this data to make decisions. That CRM adoption, if you don't have a strong CRM, or you have not gotten it right to the point where it becomes second nature in your business, that you wake up every morning, the first thing you're looking at is data, and you're looking at how everybody within your chain, have used that data, to take actions that day or the previous day. Then you're going to have problems. Then you're going to have technology. You're going to have technology, but you're not going to have transformation. You're going to have technology. Everybody wants technology. So you have the CRM, but the transformation that comes with that technology, you will not get the benefits of it. Acquisition over retention. You build budgets to chase new customers. How do you retain loyal ones? How many times do we all go on and talk about, we want new customers. Yes, bring new customers. But who's retaining the ones who are with you? Who's retaining those who are with you? That's a problem, because you may think that, let's go out, let's do everything, push all whatever to get new customers. But are you pushing, to retain your loyal customers, your old customers, or your silent customers, or your customers who have over time just reduced their footprint and everything with you without you necessarily noticing? Even if you notice, what are you doing about it? departmental silos. Again, sales, marketing, customer service, and customer experience rarely share the dashboards. Sometimes they are, there's this, what's it called? 300, movie called 300. They are combatants. The fight that is in most of these teams, who are meant to be working together, would boggle your mind. And it's not deliberate. It's not like they wake up and decide they're going to fight, but there's a way that that you are wondering, but are we not supposed to be working for the same organization? Is this person essentially trying to take collect my job? Or there's so much, and there's that sense of competition. They're so competitive that guess what? It hurts the business. So sometimes when sales see stuff, and they want something from marketing, they share very little data. I've never really understood that. So you want the marketing team to do something for you. They want them to amplify, or you want them to market something. And guess what? You share data only on a needs basis. Same organization. What am I going to do with your data? Where am I going to carry it to? We sit and we take decisions and work together, but rather, you just share with me. I just take that one. I just know this one and leave the rest. Don't worry. Just go and do your job on it. I can't. My job can be done with little or no data. If you don't expose everything to me, there's no way for me to know. If the customer service guys are also auditing data around their engagements, what they are hearing, or if they don't have a funnel to push that data to me, in marketing, what am I going to do? Nothing. I'm just going to be thinking, okay, well, a lot of the time I'm going to be wondering, okay, so what should we be doing? I'd be doing annotative marketing, because I take a look at, so what else? What are they giving me? What can I start inferring from what they've given me? When, if I have all the facts and all the data, it works. Same with customer experience. If none of these people are working together, if none of them understand the value of sharing data in the same organization, you are going to have people lost leaving you. Yeah, just you miss it. All the signals. No feedback loop. So probably go back. Customer service team measure satisfaction, but don't improve on this satisfaction or follow up. So customer service in some people, it's in some companies it's customer service teams, in others it's customer experience. So you measure satisfaction, but then so what? The things that you need to do, the customer experience or the customer care people know, the customer service people, they know, but they are not the ones who would implement it. They have to work with others. And again, when you start picking up stuff, from one part of the business and say, oh, well, you could have done this one, everybody's backs go back. They go up like you're about to say, no, I don't know my job. Yeah. So it's no longer collaborative. It's not a battle. It looks like this person wants to show me, we're in that meeting and see the way they were talking. Hey, back is up. Sometimes we do need to have our backs down. We need to relax and understand that we're all working for the same organization. Sometimes management doesn't help, because guess what? They don't help as much as you would have wanted them to, because it is the person that makes the most noise sometimes that is recognized as that's the person that is the, but more often than not, it's just sometimes it's just noise actually. Cultural blind spots: celebrate volume, not value. I will celebrate noise as well. I just said I will celebrate noise, because the person who makes the most noise is the person that, yes, that's me. No, that's not necessarily. There are people who work silently, whose work speak for them, who make things happen, but if the organization doesn't understand and see the value that those guys bring, regardless, it becomes a problem. So they then get their backs up, and anytime you say something, they are charged, they are triggered. Okay, next slide, please. So let's quick example. Disconnected business. So a top FMCG distributors data sits idly on spreadsheet, but is updated quarterly. Distributors have switched to competitors offering better margins, and all of this going on for 6 months. Why? Because you know what? It's on there. It is updated. Everybody may report about those customers on a regular basis, but nobody is taking note of their activity. and their appetite within your business. You are not noticing that if they are doing this here, what are they doing in other places? You are not noticing as they, well, just once in a, just gradually and gradually start stepping back. You are not asking the right questions. The company loses millions in potential revenue because distributor feedback and service requests had gone on track for so long, allowing competitors to quietly win their business. So you leave yourself open if you are not massaging, understanding, and tracking that data. So when reporting lags, insight dies, and revenue leaks. Next slide, please. So if you are still waiting for every quarter to report or waiting for reporting nowadays, like it must be like your customer. They are online real time. See what's happening in your business online real time and deal with it. Don't wait for the end of the quarter or end of the month or end of the week. Real time. Go on. So if your business list itself is customer based monthly, but goes on to win back 8%, the 2% loss is still quite significant. 2% monthly churn in a 5 billion turnover firm equals 200 million annual revenue that you lose. The real cost is the loss of trust, lost referrals, and lost future opportunity, not just immediate revenue. Silent exit, customers who live quietly and influence others to disengage. So essentially, one customer, you might lose one customer, and you think is one customer. So when you gain a customer, and you've gained their trust and their business, and you've got a partner for life, you've got all of that. But it's the same thing. If you lose one customer, you've lost their entire circle as well. Because if they leave, their friends will ask them why they have left. If they had known that they were doing business, they'll ask them. So guess what? It begins to grow without your understanding what's happening. Begin to see certain patterns in your business. Again, if you've got data that you then use well, you can identify those patterns. You can see what's happening. You can say, okay, what's happening? What do we need to do? What are we not doing right? And fix it. But more often than not, you may not understand it. You just see that things are happening, people are leaving. That's it. They leave. They take their entire group of friends, their community, their everything. They take it with them. And when one customer tries to leave, it's worth fighting for that customer. More fight than for the person person on the street that you are trying to still acquire. To bring somebody on board is doubly difficult than to retain the person that you got on board. So, I mean, that's super important. Next slide. Next slide, please. So let's see what some great companies do differently. In-app feedback. So every single touch point, and it says in-app here, but it's every single touch point, every single opportunity that customer has to engage with you. It is in-app, if it's online, if it's social, if it's physical in your shop. Every moment of interaction, there must be an opportunity to capture, to understand what they think of your business. It can never be overdone. Some businesses have this almost like what's that thing called that measures customer satisfaction in their locations. Some branches of banks have. Some outlets also have. So before you leave, they ask you to do thumbs up. So hotels, service oriented, they have it. They ask you to do whether it's a thumbs up, whether you had a good service or not. Apps, Uber and Co. Uber insists that you rate your driver. Every single interaction, every single time driver carries you for 5 minutes, you must rate them, and so that that feedback goes back into their own structure, and it also goes back into deciding how many trips that driver gets, whether that driver is top or not. All of those things matter. Feedback. AI-driven sentiment to detect trends and dissatisfaction from reviews, surveys, and social media using AI. See, the marketing of today is no longer marketing of one person sits somewhere and be looking at data and crunching. You've got the tools. The evolution of our business over the last how many years is mind-boggling. we're in the age of AI, and I don't know whether it's an age really or whether it's a fad. We're still there. It's still there. Jury is still out because there's a lot that's happening that we've seen sort of like before, and then it just goes off, and before you know it, the tech giants in Silicon Valley and co come up with something else. I say this is the next one, but we're here. We will work with what we have and make the most of it. So especially in marketing. So need AI-driven, not just sentiment analysis actually, but AI-driven data understanding, data massaging, data deepening. Because you've got that data, you've got the quantum of knowledge to unleash on it. It detects the patterns and it says what is going on, what's not, and all. Guess what? You get better. So cross-channel feedback integration, unify complaints and comments from all touchpoints to spot patterns. Again, if your people are not speaking to each other, or if people are not engaging, your business is not engaging itself properly, guess what? You get nothing. You get nothing. So you got different information, different things happening in different places, and nobody can see it. Nobody can see it all and say, okay, well, I've seen this, I've seen this. So you do need that cross-channel feedback integration. Behavioral analytics dashboards, check everything that the customer does. Again, AI or big data should be able to help you, to start spotting patterns. How frequently does this person log in? What are they doing? What are they not doing? And you're not doing scatter and pray. Sometimes our marketing and our customer engagement is just, hey, everybody, you just send something to everybody, pushed out. Or when you have a little bit of data, you still bundle people together based on some of the things you see of them, when actually within that customer bundle, there are subsets and there are ways that you can still engage them that has to be more personalized. We talk of personalized marketing, personalized messaging, and all of. But even within that, there's a way that you must speak to each customer that connects with them. Predictive churn modeling, identifying customers likely to leave and intervening early. Automated alert and response. So things that trigger your system, and you know that you have to do something, when there's any negative, whatever feedback. So feedback and negative feedback is not bad, because at least you are getting feedback. It's that silent feedback, not getting any feedback is a problem. So when organizations also see stuff on social media that somebody is calling them out, and you are fighting and you are doing, it's not, look, they are speaking up. They are helping you. If you fix whatever it is, there's an ad that I saw it on. I think I was at a trade session. One of these senior sessions that we, and they had talked about. I think it was what's this? I can't remember the brand's name again. They make jackets, rain suits, and they are like an outdoor business. And one day, a customer in Finland or Iceland or somewhere, thought that, well, I bought this thing that's supposed to be rainproof, waterproof. So it was raining and she had to go somewhere and bought it and wore it, and she was drenched from head to toe, despite wearing this famous brand. I think it's Under Armour. Or some other brand. It was drenched from head to toe. Unbelievable. She made a lot of breaks actually. I have because I have the jacket here. It's the North Pole. It's the North Pole, not Under Armour. She was drenched from head to toe. And then she just went live on social media and just said, look at me. I just got this. I have to go and do this in the wild, in the water, and it's raining. And it's not like it's very heavy, but this thing that's supposed to even protect me, she just went live like that and just, she was just speaking to the universe. Everybody, and you pick up that phone and you speak, you don't know what you are speaking to. The universe listened and picked it up. Social media went gaga. In a few short hours, North Pole, the company got it and said, this is two things could have happened. They could also have gone into PR overdrive. Everybody, no, it's not like that. No, they didn't. Got somebody, found where our location is, tracked our location, got somebody, a company, their shop that was close to where she was, got them to go to get their latest, the best one of their the raincoat coats, the raincoats, because it was just anyway. We got someone to take that, flew the person on an helicopter and went to deliver to the lady where she was. They did, as in, they did not see it and say, here is a problem, all this social media, leave it will go. No, they took proactive action. So they listened to that customer and they let the data guide them that, hey, does or doing, so negative publicity or negative whatever is not negative. Any feedback is great feedback, and take it and do something about it. And then you see your business being more highly regarded. Next slide. So we've got the 4L data-driven executive framework.
I'm sure you're about winding down now, right?
Yes,
I
yes,
believe.
virtually done. Sorry, I'm
you.
sorry, virtually done.
That's fine.
The 4L-driven executive framework is that you listen, capture customer signals across touch points. So you've got everything everywhere. Everyone is integrated into everything now. So capture customer feedback, listen. Then you learn, analyzing patterns. You need the technology to be able to even identify and analyze those patterns. Dormant customers, complaints, engagement, drop-offs, just analyze and start pulling all of that together. Link, share insights between sales, marketing, and all the other relevant teams. Make sure that insight is shared. So what is the data showing you? Make sure that everybody has a view of that dashboard and then act on insights. Do targeted retention campaigns, service improvement, and loyalty incentives, that you push out. So the 4 L's of a data-driven executive, this is a data-driven executive framework. The 4 L's: listen, learn, link, leverage. Next slide. I think that's about it. So data without action is useless. Insight without implementation, wasted. Thank you very much.
Wow, right on time. I was just queuing you. I didn't know that you were rounding up. My goodness, that's so apt. That's so like insight driven, like something. Yes. Thank you, Nkechi. Thank you, my sweet sister. Thank you for celebrating Yinka. Everyone in the room. Thank you, Azizat. Good job. Yes. Whoa, you killed it. So I don't even know I was writing. See my notebook. So you see I was in school. Can you see? I was writing because I'm old school. I couldn't use, I'm not as fast on phone, unlike the Gen Zs in the room who type. Thank you very much. It's so well.
Thank you very much.
Can we take 2 questions? You have a question in the room. Silent churn. And truly, I've not heard, it's been long. I was reminded of the fact that people may actually be exiting your bus silently. So if you retain them and also get other people, you are in business. 2 questions, opportunity for 2 questions or comment. Yes, thank you. Very brief and very insightful. I agree with you. Okay, Nkechi's hand is raised up. Right. Okay, thank you. Any other person with a question or a contribution? Yes, a question or a contribution. Yes, please. Yes. Nkechi, please go ahead, Mrs.
Thank you very much, Hannah, for putting this together. Yinka, I caught you today. What part of the world are you in? Is it China?
Not in Nigeria, but yeah.
Okay. So, what Yinka has done this afternoon, I'm not sure he left any loophole for anybody to contribute. He has brought out. In fact, this presentation is so detailed. So detailed, and he's made it so comprehensible. So thank you so much. But my own take is that, a very simple thing is what is happening to us really, apart from all these things, and that is arrogance.
Come on.
Corporate arrogance.
Wow.
Yeah, corporate arrogance that leads to them not listening to their data. Corporate arrogance, they're not sensitive. It's like, to hell, what can you do to us? And we see it all the time. For instance, especially those of us who go around looking for business, right? We are given all kinds of conditions, all kinds of treatments, and then it comes to a point you say for goodness sake, why must I go through this? I'll give you an example. There's a young lady in one organization. I'm not going to mention it, so we're not demarketing anybody.
That's right.
And this lady, if my first child was alive, it would be her senior. It's such a small girl. And you talk to yourself, because you're looking for sponsorship, they talk to you, they talk to vendors anyhow, And then I called, I said, look, when I worked in the bank, I'm not sure you were born, or maybe you were somewhere in it. So arrogance, insensitivity of our corporate bodies, it's an attitude thing, really. And then leadership is still part of that arrogance, leading to them not disclosing enough to whoever must achieve some goals, And then, of course, it goes down to appraisals, it goes down. So for me, I don't know how we are going to deal with this arrogance issue. You go to open an account abroad, it's just like 2 hours, whether it's corporate accounts or, but then the pain in opening an account, and then what betide you if the person helping you is one of these arrogant ones.
Yes.
All right. So I
Yes.
don't know, Yinka, what you can help us do. And I think our people need to be trained. They don't train them enough. All we do is recycle. Somebody goes to training in London and comes back and recycle. Whether he has something to give, you don't know. So I think we should also add our training, improve our training so that our customer service will also be enhanced. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you so much, Nkechi. Well done. Thank you, Yinka. And equal, I have some of my big ladies. These are all experts with industry. Oh my God. Don't worry. If I can be running Redwood, we can arrange webinar every month, honestly, because there's a strong network of people with so much expertise to share with you, honestly. Thank you. Equal says, the attitude of employees must be separated from corporate arrogance. Yes, thank you so much. We need to let you go. We still have 2 more speakers. Yeah, and we said we're not going to stay too long, but it's so sweet. Thank you. Your question, Josephine, don't worry. I can't pack your question. I will send it. I know you incidentally, or we'll get your details here. Send it to Yinka. My question is, in this part of the world, sending negative impact may endanger one's life. Take, for instance, the case of that particular tomato paste brand and the young girl. All right, we don't have time to discuss this because my next speaker is on the ground. Let's just celebrate Yinka once more. Thank you for this question, Josephine. We're making a note of this. We'll ask Mr. Jabi, please, you answer, even if it's voice note, share it with us so we can send to her so she can get an answer to that, right? Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Nkechi, for your question. Ladies and gentlemen in the room, yes, we're moving again very quickly now. Our second speaker is in the room. I tell you what, we have 3 speakers. You shouldn't leave without listening to all of them because these are speakers you pay money, I mean dollars in some instances, to listen to. But we bring in this because we want you to succeed and excel and get this information, okay? I'm really excited to bring in our next speaker. Give me his profile, please. Where are you? Yes. I told you we bring the best of the best because we have them in the room. We spoke to you a little about him earlier. Slideshow, please. Let me be able to see that. No, I've known this man for some time, actually, for some time, and as a very strong industry stalwart, who cut his teeth strong from young up until now, having worked with many professional organizations, honestly, across the world. I tell you, Adebola Arutiowa, who currently is the Chief Commercial Officer, Chivita Hollandia, he has a wealth of experience, strategic sales leadership, marketing, retail chain development, and Achieve Limited. He drives business performance by aligning brand proposition, and he understands consumer customer challenge. So when people have been in the commercial space, honestly, their perspective to life is very different. He's a great leader, and he's actually anchoring his leadership on digital acceleration, market expansion. You know the brand now. I don't even want to take you to where he had worked before now and the kind of ROI he delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, let me stop. Let's just make welcome. He's in the room. Bola Arutiowa is in the room. Come on, welcome, Bola. Let's give it all up. Thank you. Where's your greetings?
Thank you.
Where are you're sending? Yes, thank you. Thank you for that welcome. Who is clapping? Yes. Ikemi, thank you. Elizabeth, thank you. Achiowu, all of you, I know your names, so I will send gifts to your houses. Don't ask me when, though. Yes. Bola, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the very generous introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So I will be speaking this afternoon on the next billion consumer. Where are they? How do we find them? How do we ensure that we are positioned and we're ready to take a big share of what they have to offer? If you look at the world population today, Nigeria is the sixth most populous country in the world. We know that life expectancy in Nigeria is, I think, roughly 54, 55 years. So which means Nigeria generally have a very, very young population. So if you can go to the next slide, please. So we have a very young population. Now, according to projection, by 2050, Nigeria is going to have a little over 400 million people. And what does that mean? So it means that Nigeria will be the third largest populous country in the world. Today is China, India. By then it will be India will be the most populous, followed by China, and then Nigeria, and which means Nigeria is going to have a very big share of this next 1 billion consumers. So I think what had happened in the last couple of years, where some organization has left Nigeria, while at that time it feels to them that is the right thing to do, but I can tell you that where we are now as a nation, companies that are here that are well positioned and are well entrenched in the country, they will be the one to really take the big advantage of the market that Nigeria will have to offer. And we can see that Nigeria, again, and I'm not trying to be political here, I don't belong to any political party, but I also think if you look at Nigeria's current macro, a lot of things that had happened, while the majority of the populace might not be feeling the impact now, but those are things that ultimately will help shape the future of the country and will help bring in a large proportion of middle class in Nigeria. And most of this will be young people. I mean, as you can see here, we're going to have very, very large number of people that are, less than 40 years old. More than, 8 out of every 10 Nigerians will be in that age bracket. And what does that mean? It means they are digital native. They are people that most of what they do, they do it online. They live on the phone mostly. They have access to see what is happening around the world. And anyone that is ready, anyone that is, really positioned to take advantage of that, will be the big winner, going forward. The next slide. So sentiments are shifting. Right now, I don't want to assume that I know the demography of those on this call, but for those that have children that are, let's say, teenagers or early 20s or 30s, we can see a very big divide in terms of how we grew up and the things that we are interested in and the way we think about anything that we want to consume, whether it's a product or service, to how people in that age group think about product and services now. So because of this shifting sentiment, it is very important that what really drives the decision that the consumers that are in this age group or age bracket, what drives their decision making will be very critical in whatever you do, either in terms of how you develop products that they need, or you develop service that they need, or the product and service that they consume. So, as you said, around the world, especially in Nigeria, we know, budgets are very tight. Consumers have limited amount of money to spend. So, which means they make choices in terms of who gets a share of their purse. Now, and the fact that you sell product that is low price does not necessarily mean that you're going to win. So, yes, people might not have money, but they look at what really matters to them and product that deliver the best value to what matters to them. Those products will be the one that will get a bigger share of what they have to spend. Next slide. So for modern product development, when you develop new product, again, you know that it all starts with your consumer. And you have to be able to look at how quickly you can do that and how does that product actually fit into their lifestyle or into their need state. So, and right now, the first speaker talked about AI, if that is a fad or not. Well, I agree that the jury is still out, but if you look at how AI is going now, it seems to be something that it looks like something that will be around for a long time. And what we are able to do with AI today in being able to predict what consumers will be looking for or what consumers will be looking at, in the nearest future is much more than what we're able to do in the past. So which means that organization that is able to develop products that already foresee future need, they will be big winners. Now, if you look at the story of iPhone, before iPhone, phones were about buttons. Every phone will have a button, the normal in ASDF key and the likes. An iPhone never saw anything. I mean, there's nothing that indicated that you're going to be able, that something without button was going to be a big winner. But they anticipated that same button that we thought was an advantage, actually, that button had a big drawback. And today now, any phone with a button, I mean, you look like someone from the 19th century. So those are kind of things that we're going to see happen in the future. That consumers are looking for things, they're already thinking ahead, and companies are already thinking ahead of things that they can produce, things like services that they can offer that will meet those kind of future needs. Next slide, please. So in terms of, so again, we said this is going to be the next billion consumer will be very youthful consumers. They will be today Gen Zs, millennials, people that are less than 40, they are still very youthful. And as we said earlier, they are digitally savvy. So which means that there are things that shapes how they make their consumption decision. So what are some of those things? So quickly, just look at 4 things that define the mindset of the future of not just Africa, and I'll say Nigeria because Nigeria is the biggest market in Africa, anyway. So what are those 4 things? The first one is what we call the do-it-yourself hustle culture. There are some job titles today that, sometimes when you ask someone, what are you doing? And the person tells you, I'm a digital analyst, or I am, there are different titles that, it feels like, I mean, I really don't get it. What exactly is this person doing? There are people that are doing, not just social media analysis, they produce digital content, they work with social media interns, they do so many things. And in this country today, we're also aware of the fact that there are many people living in Nigeria that are working for organizations all over the world. They work here, they earn money in different currencies. And so they see the world as a global village. And what that means, they see the world as a global village. And what that means is that they are exposed to what is happening all over the world. And what they want to see is, while the traditional work that we use, as we used to know it now, is becoming more and more obsolete, they are looking for products or services that actually, complement their lifestyle. That actually, they see something that's more personal to them. Products or services that speaks to their personality, or that help them monetize, their own skills or their passion, or that really resonates with them, as a person and what they really love doing. And then one other thing is, they are borderless in their ambition. Someone once said that if there's enough planes to take people out of the country, and you just say 24 hours, enough place to take anyone that wants to leave, or any young person that wants to leave in 24 hours, the country will almost be empty. So, data says that 3 out of every, 5 Africans want to emigrate anyway. So it's very important that the things that they, resonate with them where they are, they can find out wherever they choose to live. And either they can take it with them, or those things they can find it where wherever they find themselves. So that's important. So the third thing is, please go to the next slide. So what you call culture as commerce, that is They buy assets, not just products. So we know how big Nigeria film industry is today. I remember sometimes a couple of months ago, there was a particular content creator that I read was slammed with a certain tax bill running into millions, and he was shouting. Nigeria, I'm not sure that we truly know how big, the online, the social media business in Nigeria is today. But I guarantee you it's running into a few billions of dollars, today. So those kind of industries that used to be non-existent in the before now today, they are becoming very big and they are growing at a much faster rate. So that's really very relevant. That's very important, and lastly, next slide. So conscious school. Now, I think right now people talk a lot about social impact. There are people that looks at a package of a product and decide either to buy that product or not. They want to know how socially responsible your organization is in sourcing its raw material. They want to make sure that those that are at the end of the value chain, they are being fairly treated. They are getting, the best for what they put in. So, and young people of today, they are more socially conscious than maybe the much older generation. And apart from that, companies like GT Bank, there's this annual thing. If you bank with GT, you get that email, it's GT fashion, and you start wondering what has the bank going to do with the fashion industry? But reality is that it resonates because young people are very much into fashion. Like where I work here, there's something I would call lifestyle brunch that we, bring in young people, young influencers to connect with, young people, because at the end of the day, your consumers, the core of your consumers are young people. Sometimes today we actually do export into rest of West Africa, but lately now we've been getting a lot of demand for people living in the UK, in Canada, in the US, and actually distributor, young people who sees, okay, I live in Nigeria, I love this product, but I would like to have the same experience wherever I find myself. And right now, while our initial focus was just West Africa or the African continent, we're actually having people who are representing the organization selling our products, in the West. So again, that's really very, very important that the products you offer, people see it as being able to use that product wherever they find themselves, and they have easy access to your product, or if it's a service, your service. Yeah, next slide. So in summary, while, my background is in FMCG, but I also know that this is relevant across all industry. It's relevant across all industry. There are companies today, and you see that a lot in the telecom companies or industry, where they send you a message and say, oh, this data bundle for YouTube and Twitter, and then you pay this amount, because based on the data they have, they might find that you are spending a lot of time on YouTube. I understand YouTube skew more towards men than women, and so they give you something that allows you to do what you enjoy doing. So those kind of things are really very important, that, the data that every industry is able to gather, they can use those data in a way that allows them to maximize the opportunity that you have within, your consumer profile, or the demography of the consumer that uses your product. I talked about, product crossing border, talk about access. There are people that there are people that understand, they are called corporate shoppers. They are things that you need anywhere in the world that they can help you get, because they want to have the same experience they had where they were before, in where they're finding themselves now. And for retailers, or for our own kind of industry, the ability of anyone at the comfort of their home to be able to have access to your product, when on demand is really very crucial. So they want to be able to access your product wherever they are. They will appreciate if they can order your product from any part of the world. Either you bring it across the border, or you can find it in the country where they are, or if they can, or within the country where they are, that you can bring it to their doorstep. So I think those are the kind of innovations that the next billion consumers will expect, which again, as you said earlier, they are very young demographic of people. They're also looking at everything that goes into what you make and what you are offering. What is the impact of what you are doing on the environment? And they see companies that are environmentally conscious as companies, that looks at how the environment will be sustained, for the future. So they find those kind of a thing very important to them and very relevant. So again, we said, in terms of winning where these consumers are, so there are strategies that connect to the next generation of consumers. And what are some of those strategies that connect to this next generation of consumers? Bear in mind that while we might say they are next generation, but the fact is that they're already here. They are no longer next generation. They are here with us. We already have a very young, very youthful population in the country. And any organization that is still thinking about them as what am I going to do in future already late to the game. They're already here with us. Next slide. So for in the fast-moving consumer goods, there are companies today. Again, most companies create product, then they go test it to consumer, then they make adjustments. But today, companies that will win will not create and test. You will sit down with the consumer and create with them. You want to ensure that what you are developing is exactly what they want. You don't assume that you know what they want. You don't make that assumption, that you know what they want. So it's very important. So co-creation, will become a big thing for anyone that's going to win. And then you also have things that have to be culturally relevant to them, that speaks to different cultural nuances. And then we talked about using data to anticipate demand. Right now, data is much more than king. And then what about affordability? What about being able to have products in formats that allows them to be able to try different things? Because again, sometimes it feels that they get bored easily with a particular thing, and so they want to have access to a wide variety of things, and they want to be able to try new things, all the time. So all this kind of thing becomes very relevant in our own kind of industry, that you don't go on your own tangent and then coming back, and then you get into the market, all of a sudden you are finding that, oh, this doesn't really resonate, and then they're giving you feedback, you don't like. By giving the product a wrong name is more than enough.
Can you still hear? Am I the person? My network?
Can everyone hear me?
Okay, yes, we can. I think it's my network.
Okay.
Thank you. And I know you are rounding up, right?
Yes.
My internet. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So let's go to the next slide.
Next slide.
Yeah, the financial industries is being disrupted today. And the funny thing is that in Africa today, in terms of in the financial industry, I think Africa really has done some things that you can't even find in the West in terms of digitizing finances, and in terms of giving people easy access to the financial industry. So again, people have savings, but again, some of those things you're already seeing then, that they have a lot of product that you can save towards anything that you want to do. You can save towards a vacation. You can save towards paying your rent. You can save towards paying for your school fees, that for a course you're starting 4 years from now. So those are the kind of things that consumers are looking forward to, and financial institutions that are able to look at those different kind of need states and are able to develop products to those need states will win. Next slide. Yeah, in the retail and telecom, we talked about this earlier. A lot of people today, a lot of young people today, they do most of their shopping online. They even for groceries, for pepper and tomato, you can buy and get delivered to your house. So having a physical store with the lowest price may not cut it. Access becomes very important. Availability becomes critical. And then being able to make use of every channel that's available, that also becomes very critical for retail, for any industry for that matter. And then, we talked about what is possible in the telecoms industry, where a lot of them are more agile than the others in terms of developing products, that fit the lifestyle of different kind of consumer needs. So again, for the young people, we anticipate that more and more things will be moving from offline to online, and which means there'll be more and more need for solutions that will help ease of doing things online. And whatever those kind of consumers find themselves doing, telecom companies that have solutions that helps them achieve those objectives, then they become very big winner in the marketplace. Next slide. Can you? All right. So what are other factors to consider? Again, as I said here, next generation consumers, they are sensitive, they are very opinionated. If they find something they don't like, they don't keep it to themselves. Immediately they go online and they start talking about it. So they don't care how it affects you. So which is why it is important that before they start having those kind of negative opinion, you engage them and make sure that what you have out there is what they really want.
Correct.
And you take feedback. You don't defend your position.
That's right.
What you do is you take feedback, and where you have to take corrective action, you take that action. And then what happens is when you have very strong or very good customer services that takes feedback and works on those kind of feedback, you can even find those consumers that are dissatisfied with whatever you are offering, going back and telling of their experience in how you help fix an issue that they have with your product or with your service. They go back and tell them, say, no, this organization is responsible, because they know that as human, you can't get it right all the time, but you can always correct when things are not right. So what are the risks that you avoid? Especially for those of us that work with multinational, it can be a very big risk when you have a template that you want to take across every continent. Templates are just meant to be guardrails. I think it would be foolish for you to apply any template, wholesale. Yes, there are commonalities among consumers or young consumers everywhere. However, there are peculiarities even within Nigeria itself. The young, youthful consumers in the South and the North, there are things that makes them different. And those nuances, nailing them down, again, will make a big difference in terms of how you're able to capture those audience across these different parts of the market. So, and then you can't ignore them. You do that at your own peril. Maybe it's our parent generation that will say, what do young people know? Their generation tell us what do old people know? And and if that is the way they think, then you want to know exactly what do you know and what do you want, and ensure that you work to really meet their need. Because at the end of the day, your job as an organization is to meet the need state of your consumers. And then distribution, affordability. The most frustrating thing you can do is to have a brilliant product, consumer wants it, but they can't find it. So consumers must be able to find you easily. In the first organization where I work, there's something that we call arm reach of desire. That it means that if the consumer in their living room stretch their hand, they can literally pick your product from their living room. That is how pervasive you want your presence to be. And if you're able to do that, okay, technology allows you to do that. And if you're able to do that, I think the next billion consumers that are already here, you will be, already ahead of those that are waiting, to develop something for the consumers that are already here. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you. But I didn't even know you are ending, but it's fine. Yes, because we're walking to time. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You've also, 1 billion, as we're speaking in my head, I'm just saying money. And as a business, I'm also going to read through to ensure that this 1 billion from this generation, we make it. And it's how we are able to quickly adapt to suit them, especially those of us of the older generation, traditional, mindset. So we have to really change. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've learned and unlearned and heard a lot from Bola Arutionwa. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any question you want to ask physically? One question. I know a veteran, Iko, has thrown a question in the room there, and I'm like, Iko, I know you have the answer to this. But does anybody have a question? Let me ask if there's anyone who has a question, want to physically ask a question. You are in the room, please indicate. We have the last speaker, and that is not going to take more than 20 minutes. 20 minutes. He's going to speak to data proper. How all of these things that both Bola and Yinka have spoken to, how do you readily get them, all right? I like the point Bola had made when he said, I'm rich. Said a company where he had worked, and I wrote there, and I said, we know that company. We know now the companies that anywhere you turn, you must see them, global, but yet everywhere alike. Thank you. The question it was asked is, she said, do we foresee open markets going into extinction soon or very soon? And she says, perishable goods like vegetables are not yet fully present in many stores. So that's the only question. Maybe in 2 minutes you can do that, Bola, before we release you.
Yeah, so open markets will not go into extinction, I believe, but it will keep diminishing. Even in the West, you still find open markets because, again, consumers love choices. There are people that, even young people up to tomorrow, they still want to feel and touch what they want. And there are people that want to have what they need within a confined space. So that is what the hypermarket is meant to do. So when you have it like hypermarket, supermarket, in that same space, everything is available. But for open market is like the one that is in the open. That is just a different. So, but you're going to see, more of the convenience shopping and hypermarket growing more and more. But open market, I don't foresee open market disappearing at all. And then I think she also talked about the perishables. What was the question on perishables?
Yes, you said, the shops, the retail, the hyperstores still don't have perishables. Not many of them carry perishables.
Correct. And
now, it's all reiterating your point.
Yeah. That's true. And you can see some of them, actually, they've started doing that. They have, a separate shop that deals with perishable. Some of them here in the country. So, and you're going to see more and more of that happening.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, can we just do that and just celebrate Bola Arutionwa? Thank you so much for your insightful presentation. Really good, well done. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not the least, we have Joseph in the room. I'm just going to do this in a few minutes, 20 minutes, we're out of here. But I believe it's been worthwhile, isn't it? Thank you. Thank you, Bukola. Thank you, all of you, for sharing love. Thank you, Rui. Thank you, Ologun. Thank you all. Yes. And you see, it's just 14 slides. This 14 slides is just going to get into it for us in a manner that, Cynthia, thank you, that we are just going to enjoy it. Equal, yes. All right, so who is Joseph? They are not showing me Joseph's profile, but I can speak to it. Yes, thank you. Yes. I'm sure Joseph, you are saying, and Joseph doesn't speak like, anyway, don't let me put him out here, He heads telecom and IT insight at Razi, By the time he speaks, you will know whether, you see, I called him Umunakwe. 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 I'm not even pronouncing it like he's Nigerian. He's not here. Well, rather his time is there, but we are so glad to have been able to pull him to come into the room and tell us, because he is an IT person. This is a commercial person with telco and IT, practicality. So, Joe, I'm not going to waste time. Thank you so much for honoring us and for staying through. Would you please go ahead and tell us, Wazi, because you provide solution. This is where, ladies and gentlemen, if you go in now, that you have missed 70% of today's conversation. Joe's organization, they provide tools that can help. So while we're putting this together, we're like, okay, we'll hear the experts speak. Let's also bring in somebody like Joe. And Joe, I'm going to be bringing you to many other webinars because we really need to know how to quickly, everybody's talking AI, how do we quickly optimize it, to grow business in channels and all. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy has worked in Microsoft, Nokia, MTN, all around the world. All right, thank you very much. You're welcome. Please go ahead, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Hannah. And I really want to specifically appreciate Iyenka and Bola. They have made my job very easy. Great, insightful presentations. I appreciate the insight that you have shared, and that really connects to what we do at Wazi. What I'm going to do is just to adopt a rapid fire approach because much of the agenda has been covered, much of the content has been delivered by experts, Iyenka and Bola. So what I'm going to do is to run through a few slides to introduce Wazi. And I'm really very happy that myself, Iyenka, and Bola, we never spoke before this webinar. And when they were sharing their presentations, their insight, it was amazing how that connected to what we do at Wazi and the solution we provide to companies globally. So let me just quickly introduce Wazi. Wazi is an AI platform that delivers hyper-local market intelligence, market insight to brands, to decision makers, helping them to optimize decision making, helping them to make faster, smarter decisions about what consumers buy, why they are buying them, where they are buying from, what are the key parameters they consider before they make their purchase decisions. We also gather data from different types of channel of distribution, whether it is agent network, retailers, wholesalers, merchants across all jurisdictions. And we gather this together. Our AI analyzes it and provides real-time dashboard intelligence to decision makers. And you can see on the slide, we have broad global footprint. We do help our clients to unlock growth in a number of ways. The first one, and I remember Olayenka was talking about data blind spots. Every company has a blind spot, just like individuals have a blind spot. When we are driving on the road in a car, we know that there are blind spots on the road. And what Wazi does is to bring that blind spot to your dashboard so you can see what is around you and make the right decisions. Most often, brands fish in the same pond, in a war zone. They basically compete in the same environment. And as a result, the law of diminishing return kicks in very quickly. So what Wazi does is by utilizing data, utilizing the power of AI and insight to show brands, decision makers, where the quick wins are, the opportunities, where the low-hanging fruits are, so that they can capture opportunities ahead of competition and increase market share. And of course, this generation that have been discussed by Bola, by Iyenka, terms of generation of consumers, we need to speak to them in the language that resonates with them. Marketing leaders need to craft campaigns, need to craft communication that connects with the consumer segment they're targeting, thereby helping them improve marketing efficiency, improve marketing ROI. Iyenka spoke very clearly around churn. And when he was speaking about churn, I was just nodding my head to say, this is exactly the problem with many companies. We're using what is a platform. Brands can predict churn triggers and then take proactive action to retain those customers. And it's only when you retain customers that you can upsell them and increase the customer lifetime value overall. Let me share a big picture of how AI and big tech is being adopted globally. This is one of the studies that we undertook, that was undertaken this year, and it showed the level of AI adoption. And this is not just about AI adoption by individuals, this is about AI awareness among consumers in the products that they consume, the service they consume. The survey found that 67% of consumers are aware of the role AI is playing in the products or the services they consume. And when you look at that journey from awareness all the way to advocacy, 18% of consumers are already indicating that they are actively advocating for adoption of AI. They are influencing AI usage among companies. They are influencing how the social impact of AI is also going to be taken into consideration by brands. And the question that I ask brands and clients and decision makers is, if consumers are adopting AI at a very large level, why shouldn't you? Otherwise, brands could be left behind if they don't adopt AI the same level that consumers are adopting. And you can see the demography by the right side of the slide, showing the male-female split in terms of AI adoption. And you will see that for advanced economies, already about 54% of under 50s are actively using AI products and services. Let me speak very quickly on tech-powered channels themselves. What are channels? Channels are engagement pathways, how brands engage with their customers. And the channel is tech-powered when advanced technology is used to enhance how that engagement is taking place, to optimize how brands interact with their customers, with their consumers. Of course, that pathway could be distribution pathway, it could be sales pathway. And what role today that big tech, AI, and advanced technology is playing in optimizing how brands play in the channel. And somebody asked a question around whether the open markets are going to go away. I agree with the answer that Bola gave. It's not going to go away, but you're going to see more and more shift from the open markets into online. One of the surveys analysis we did recently showed that about 70% of online purchases happen on social media. Here on social media means Instagram and WhatsApp. People are actively running businesses on Instagram and WhatsApp. So consumers, SMEs, MSMEs are utilizing the power of social media, the power of AI, the power of advanced technology in these platforms to drive engagement, to drive sales. And the question then someone may ask is, what about the e-commerce platforms? That's a different question completely. And that is something that every player in the industry needs to take note of. What role is advanced technology playing today? Machine vision, AI, providing real-time analytics, providing insight to decision makers. You don't have to wait for the lagging indicators to drive your business. What are lagging indicators? Revenue, sales numbers. You review them at the end of the month. That is lagging indicator. The leading indicator is consumer behavior. It's the shift in characteristics of the consumer. It's a shift around how consumers perceive the market, how they perceive the product. We are also in an era where mobile data collection is really helping reach out to consumer touch points, and that is critical for brands to adopt. How are shoppers behaving in the tech era? I think that is something I really want to point out here, which also has been mentioned by Yinka at some point. Consumers are always leaving digital footprints, whether it is online or offline. There are footprints. There are signals that they leave when they make purchases in the stores, when they make purchases online. It is going to be a big advantage, big competitive advantage for any brand that is able to bring these signals together and utilize these signals to make decisions. If I look at the old model, decision making, lagging surveys, delayed research, it always leads to reactive decision making. When the sales number drops, there is an urgent meeting, there is a committee, the salespeople, they get hammered. But the signs that led to the decline of sales, the signs that led to not meeting the target, not delivering on the commitment to stakeholders, should have been tracked 3 months earlier, 6 months earlier by engaging with the consumers. And I'm going to show you a demo very quickly about how things are changing in the industry and how we are supporting decision makers and brands to make informed decisions. So what you see here is how what used to be retail audit as an example. We know about a share of shelf. But the market is moving even beyond the share of shelf to the share of fridge, to the share of pantry. And what you see here is high tech being used. This is a digital image of a shelf, and LLM is able to extract data from this image and tell you what your share of shelf is, and tell you whether your product is on the strike zone in the store or not, and tell you whether there's availability of your product or not, and call out your positioning, how many of your products are really facing out. So previously in the industry, in the retail space, you want to do maybe a retail audit, people will go and physically do a check on the shelf. But now, just taking a digital image of the shelf, our platform, our AI platform is able to extract the data, analyze it, and provide decision makers immediate access to what is happening in the store, and they can take proactive action. I am going to stop here and show you some use cases.
Interesting. Interesting to know that with technology, it's faster now and it's easier now. Wow. Interesting.
All right. So I believe, Anna, you can see my screen.
Yes, I can. Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm sharing here is a product in the market that we are all aware of. We all use in our houses. Everyone here, I imagine, is using toothpaste.
Yes.
The question I ask, and I ask this question now to everybody on this webinar, do you know why consumers buy your product? Do you know why? And I think it's really very important for every brand, for every consumer, for every leader to know why consumers are buying their product. Why do they choose First Bank instead of other banks in the industry? Why do they choose Chivita over every other drink in the market? I think that is a critical element. It's a critical piece of what every leader needs to know. So we went to market to ask some questions and ask consumers what are the factors influencing their purchase of toothpaste in Nigeria. It was impressive to see. More than 30% said they buy as a result of brand. That is number one. They buy as a result of brand. Others say, to the opposite, say ingredients. 19% said recommendation. And this is super important because you can begin to understand what drives the purchase. Availability is 4%, packaging size, flavor, price. And I'm going to show you something else very quickly on this dashboard. We look at key factors that consumers value on a toothpaste. And you can see, and this is answer from the horse's mouth, no extrapolation. From the horse's mouth, they are saying these are the ingredients that they value most. Let's go down a little bit. How satisfied are they? Talking about churn triggers. When a customer is not satisfied,
That's right.
that customer will move away.
Yeah.
So you can see how the level of satisfaction, and you can see those who are not very happy and neutral. What do you dislike about your current toothpaste brand? You can see 50% say price. And I'm going to point out an insight for everybody here. Okay, the first thing they have said is they are buying because of brand.
Yes.
But they don't like the price. So price is not the biggest driver of purchase.
Correct.
That's basically what they're saying.
Correct.
They may not be happy about the price.
That's right.
But they are buying it because of the brand.
They trust the brand. That's right.
Because of brand trust.
Correct.
And something else to pay attention to. Almost 20% are buying not based on advertisement, not based on the promotion, not based on the celebrity endorsement. They are buying on the basis of recommendation. And this becomes very important because when you lose one customer, just like Yinka mentioned earlier on around churn, the silent churn, when you lose this customer, you don't just lose that one customer. You lose that customer's social circle. You lose 19% of your market share almost immediately. And that makes retention absolutely critical.
Correct.
Now, how do you get this insight? Just by asking the consumer what is happening. And we ask them, what is the likelihood of you recommending your brand? And they say it. We go even a little bit further to say, show us exactly the product that you're consuming in your house, not in the store. Okay, so if I scroll down here, you can see consumers. They show us what they are using. So this is share of what is in the home, not what is in the shelf. And why this is important is because we know in retail today, share of shelf can be influenced. You go to the retailer, you negotiate a deal for 3 months.
That's right. That's right.
And they give you share of space.
That's right.
But share of home, share of store in the house, share of fridge cannot be influenced. It's a decision of the consumer. So, and it's important that brands understand what drives the consumer, how consumers perceive them, and why consumers are buying them. And a few things I can call out for everyone that is on the webinar on this dashboard. This dashboard is highly interactive.
Okay.
You can slice it based on gender. You can slice it based on age. And there are other parameters. You can look at region. You can look at income level. You can look at whether the person is employed, self-employed. You can look at religion, etc. All of them are here. For the interest of time, talking about the power of AI, after data collection, our AI engine analyzes the data. And you can see the analytics as previously shared. And it also provides you highlights of the market, highlights of what the consumers are saying. Here, it's summarizing what insights that have been generated from the horse's mouth in the market. It's saying brand loyalty is very important. 56% are saying they dislike the price, but 94% are satisfied with their current brand. That is huge. That is huge. So it gives you the highlights of what the consumers are saying, what the market is saying. It also gives you the opportunities, tells you where there is opportunity for improvement. It provides you action that executive members can take and the results they can achieve. And one more thing before I show you the final demo. This is what we call Sena AI. If I come here, I can actually ask AI, what can Orabi do to gain share?
Or a B. Incidentally, that used to be somebody's, I think that used to be Bola's former organization, P&G.
Okay, so if I ask AI, AI is going to look at the data and provide me decision options, what brand A can do to gain share over brand B. And that becomes like your internal consultant. You are seeing what is happening in the market. You have an
Right.
interactive dashboard. You can
Yeah.
interact with AI engine to offer you decision options, and that helps you make the decisions that you need to make promptly in real time. And by the way, this dashboard that we are sharing here is shared with everyone in the organization who has access, who should know what is happening.
Yeah.
Those in
Okay.
sales, those in marketing, as an example. So
Right.
I'm going to share something else quickly with you.
Okay, that's the last, right?
That'll be the last one. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow, Joe, this is really interesting. Now you are giving us what to use alternatively. Beautiful. Plus AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
So putting this up now. Just let me know when you can see it.
Yes, it's coming. It's coming. Yes, it's here now. All right, good.
Okay, now we are going into the channel itself.
Okay.
So you can see, if you can see my screen, a few things
Yes.
here. One
Yes.
is availability. Is the product
Yes.
available? How much is it
Yes.
selling in the
Yes.
market? There are
Yes.
new listings. Is it out of stock?
Yes.
What is the share of shelf in the store?
Right.
Again, based on the digital images, what is the share
Yeah.
of shelf? And you can see that. Now you can also see on the map where those stores are digitally. But I am going to
Wow.
move from there very quickly in the interest of time. And I come here. You can see the different store types
Wow.
in
Okay.
Nigeria. You can see the tabletop, wholesalers,
Yeah.
supermarkets, shops, pharmacies,
Wow.
grocery stores. Okay, so if I pick one of them, just for example, this store is in
Yeah.
FCT, it's in
In
Nigeria. These are the
Abuja.
things it sells. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And this is us talking about a beverage, let's say the beer section,
Right.
and they stock beer. And then I ask, is
Wow.
Heineken available? Let's say you're the marketing manager, brand manager
Yes.
for Heineken. Yeah, the answer is yes. How much is it? Show us the picture of Heineken if it's available.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the picture on your
Wow.
dashboard. On your
Interesting.
dashboard. You don't need to go to the market to see it. Is Guinness
Wonderful.
available? Yes. Yeah. What is the price that is listed? What's the barcode? Show me the Guinness on the shelf. You can see it on the shelf. Okay, so and you run that through. Now here we say, is Hero available? No, Hero is not available. If a
Okay.
customer wants to buy Hero and Hero is not available, the customer is
Yeah.
going to go shop something else.
That's right.
Is Trophy available? Yes. If Trophy is available, how much is it? So decision makers can use this to measure availability,
Right.
price compliance. They can use this to show also to see whether their marketing collaterals are properly deployed in the channel.
Right.
A number of significant use cases. And analysts, salespeople can bring up they can export this entire report into Excel
Yeah.
and then see what if places where the products are not available and send that to their field reps, and they can utilize that to work with the distributors, make sure the products are where they are supposed to be in the channel. So I'm going to stop there because of time.
Wow. Yes. Whoa, Joe, there's no way we have to work together now. We have to market this thing we have to use this thing you are saying. We have to, of course, we have to find a way to, because this is just amazing. That means that what this means is I'm just, the word coming to my head is advantage, actually. Right. But I wanted to ask you, Joe, let's assume I'm into hotel business, right? I just want you to know, yes, no, that can this be for any kind of business or service? That's my other question.
Absolutely. Every type of business, every type of service. I mean, we have clients who are in financial institutions, we have FMCGs, we have insurance, we have fashion, we have beauty.
Okay.
Every kind of,
So
even
it cuts across.
hotels. Yeah,
hotels. Okay, fantastic.
Absolutely.
Very well. So we have now spoken from, somebody said, wow. Yeah, so we have taken it from how to get the 1 billion people. I mean, the need to get them to what you are telling us is to how to gain the advantage. Because, like, I don't know who said that. Was it Bola or Yinka who said, it's almost, I don't know, was it you that says, of course, everybody is playing in a red ocean. We're all playing together because I think what yours does now is to give us the advantage. 10 of us are playing. Somebody has to win, right? So the first to know and to take the right decision and to act on the right decision wins over the others because there's even no time. You're dealing with these young people or anybody and they're moving so fast. Thank you so very much, Joe. I think it's been very insightful. Oh, do we have any questions, please? We are rounding up now. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes. Thank you. 5 minutes, literally. Any question? Or did anybody feel confused? Were the charts fearful to you? Because there are some people that don't like charts too. Women, especially. If you're a business person, you don't like charts, you're joking. You must like charts. Or you don't like the numbers, But I really like this. I like this. Well done. Any question? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, thank you, Joe, on behalf of us. Thank you. I know I reached out to you to say, somebody, Equal says, okay, Equal says, how expensive is the service? Okay, I think for all the questions, please ask me because of our time. I think we will negotiate you. If we need it in Nigeria, Joe, we are going to negotiate you. We will negotiate you. But it's a very good question. Equal is asked to say, but really, is it maybe you want to answer. Is it what we can readily get and not too expensive, truly? Somebody said, does that true that the evolution of FIFA will take over revolution of
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's something that is within reach. It's something that we can deploy to any company, work within their budget to make sure they deliver value to stakeholders.
Very well. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, truly, I cannot but come in here to thank you. To know that we started at over 40-something and you're still 36 who stayed here to the end of this program, I want to say thank you very much. You've done well. It's your Thursday. You've had your lunch with us. Some of you at work, some of you in your organizations. Thank you. And I want to celebrate all my big people, my friends, my colleagues, and my juniors, mentees, mentors, everyone in the room today. Thank you. All the organizations participate, particularly First Bank. If you're not banking with First Bank, let me now promote them. They didn't ask me, they don't beg me, but they don't come talk here now. Make a come. If you don't get account with First Bank, you are joking, you must go. If you know they drink Chivita and all these yogurts they have, very Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining. Please be on the lookout. Brought to you by Redwood Consulting, by God's Grace, what Redwood does. We understand insight. We're marketing people and sales people. We help you grow your business. We help you increase your customers and help you make more profit. That's what we do for big organizations and also for SMEs, if you're in that category. Please watch the space. There are many things we're doing with SMEs. We're going to roll out a few items not too far away. Also from conglomerates, if you're in a big organization, of course, we know how to help you grow even bigger. To say more, we'll be taking that time. I just want to say thank you. For those at the back end, thank you for pulling this together. We are grateful. Some of you, we're going to call on you soon, one of these days, to come and also sit in, and I'll be glad to be your host. Thank you, everyone. Do have a good Thursday. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend loading. Bye-bye. By the way, we're on YouTube. If you are registered for this, if we have your link here, we're going to share it with you so that you can have it shared with your managers in the office so they too can listen to this. Having said that, everyone, good evening and have a good day. Bye-bye for now. Bye.